The Ghana Police and Fire Services say the street naming exercise being carried out by the various assemblies has come at an opportune time, as it will help them respond quickly to crime scenes and also to reduce the loss of lives and property during fire outbreaks. The deadline for the exercise elapsed exactly a month ago, and some streets are yet to be named. Joy News' Latif Idrisu has been finding out how the exercise will influence the operations of the emergency services.
Vanderpoy Street, Komla Dumo Avenue, Ajiman Avenue, John Evans Tamil Street, and the list goes on. Those are the names of some streets in the capital, Accra. The hope is that Ghanaians will no longer use landmarks when given directions but street names. The street naming and house numbering exercise, aside aiding in accurate direction, will also help the various security agencies in their operations. The Ghana Police Service, for instance, says they are unable to quickly locate some crime scenes during robberies due to lack of proper naming system. And with crime becoming more sophisticated, Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of public affairs of the Ghana Police Service, DCOP Reverend David Nenyin Ampabenin, tells us how the exercise will help the police service in their operations.
Even in the courts, you want somebody to stand short. You have to locate his property. You have to, in relation to the street, the area. And you find it difficult. Sometimes even you don't need the person to take you there. We have to go there ourselves. How do you go? So unless you go with a criminal, and then you see this is it, this is it. So that even it can give you wrong address, but because it's not publicized, you don't know it. But now it's publicized. If you say number 22 Sekanate Road, then we know that if he takes it to another road, which is not Sekanate Road, then we know that the person wants to defraud us.
Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, Billy Anaglate, disclosed that the absence of street names means the fire service is unable to promptly attend to fire cases.
I know you'll be surprised to hear that there are times somebody will call and say, fire at a Mamprobi. Then you want to find out if there is any street name, anything that we will be able to use, or any landmark. It becomes difficult because they do not have names of those ones. So I would say, as much as it is late, though, we are happy that it has taken off.
Chief Executive Officer of the National Ambulance Service, Professor Ahmed Nuhu Zakaria, also lauded the initiative.
Because traditionally we have not been used to using names of streets. Now that we are bringing it up, we should accompany that with a system that will compel everybody to really make good use of their names. Otherwise, very soon, everybody will not remember. And if you don't remember the name of your street that you live in, how then will you even use that information? And those are the issues I'm talking about.
We find out from the public whether or not they know the names of the streets they use.
When you're coming from Circle, just around Glens, house number C1-4, exactly, you are there.
When you get to the Glens nightclub, the first junction on the left, then you turn on it.
So you don't name of the street, I don't know.
Yeah, for this particular street, I know it's called Kwame Nkrumah Avenue. The one goes down here is Vanderpoy Street.
Okay.
Not all, only my street, and the main street on the Kojo Thompson Street. That's what.
What's the name of this street behind us?
I don't know. If I will tell you, I don't know.
The next time you walk on the street, keep your head up and check out the street name, because you just might need it. From the Vanderpoy Street in Adabraka, this has been Latif Idrisu's report for Joy News.
Broadcast now. The National Democratic Congress Greater Accra chair says the burning down of Burkina Faso's parliament by protesters is an attack on democracy. Speaking on the AM show earlier, Ajay Kuka said African leaders must learn to stick with their own respective constitutions.
Kampari has been in power for 27 years. I think it's enough. 8 years, maximum another 12 years, I think, for a leader is enough. I mean, you look at other countries, 10 years, there's a paradigm change. You look at Brazil, within 10 years, they were able to change their economy with the silver and this kind of people. And then they left, they moved on, you know. So I think, I believe for the parliamentary house to be bent down, that's the end of the democracy there.
Well, it's not totally bent, some parts.
But then it's a symbol, right? And that has given us empowered the people to move and say, we can do, you can overthrow him. I believe what you should do now is probably ask them that enough is enough. We don't want to see what happened to Ivory Coast, where at the end of the day, you know, so many lives were lost, and now the president is in what do you call it?
It's in The Hague.
In The Hague, you know, we don't want him to end that way. At least he must be able to retire peacefully. So I believe he should quickly come around, call it quits, set up an interim arrangement, interim government, and let the people decide within the next few months or that the country must move. I think he should be able at this stage to call it. But you know, Africans, you know, we don't know when to quit, and that's our problem.
Meanwhile, the New Patriotic Party's National Nasser Coordinator Kamal Din Abdullahi is of the view happenings in Burkina Faso is a cause for concern in neighboring countries like Ghana because the situation could spread into those countries.
I'm happy. Whatever, you see, my fear even is that the coup there or seeming coup there, if it does occur, we'll have people running to cross borders into our neighboring countries. We're going to have these effects. This time of Ebola, we're not too sure how we're going to monitor this. We should be afraid. There's a whole regional insecurity for all of us. And I think that we should actually be concerned about the happenings in Burkina Faso.
When we're likely to have influx.
Absolutely.
If we have
some running to Bamako, some running to La Côte d'Ivoire, some running to Togo, some running to Ghana. These are the borders of Burkina Faso. And all of us are already afraid. We are preparing ourselves towards this Ebola thing. May God forbid it never comes to Ghana anyway. But then if these things happen, of course we're going to have cross-border, you know, movements. And some of these things we are at risk and all that. But by and large, what I would like to say is that I'm going to admonish the ECOWAS leaders, especially our president who's the chairman or the chairperson of ECOWAS. Speak to Blaise Compaoré. Let him understand that, look, the very people that you're seeking to rule are the very people who decide for you. Now, if you don't do what is right, it's going to worry us. Again, to end with on this matter, what is happening in Burkina Faso tells every leader that law, no matter how small it is, must not be disregarded. African leaders must learn to at least leave power.
Well, Deputy Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Baba Jamal, says the release of the amount in workers' Tier 2 pension is because Labour made the request. He noted, had Labour requested earlier, the current impasse would not have occurred.
I'm obliged this time. This time we have to do it because we needed to clear the issues. These were not part of the core issues of the workers going on strike. Their issue was that they want the money to be released to them and their 4 schemes allowed to work. But the issue of the figures were not part of it. But you see, we make it look, we ask the strike come on, people continue to add on and even try to link it to even some extraneous matters are brought into it. The fact is that the money is not for government, the money is for workers. As long as we come to an amicable solution of this matter, we come to a compromise position which is suitable to them and suitable to government. Because government is the ultimate trustee of this country, of all workers. Today, if something goes wrong, it's government that will have to come in. So what we are saying is that we are prepared to release the money as long as we reach an amicable solution. Their position, they have some strong points. Our position, we have some strong points. We have not reached a deadlock yet. We could resolve this matter. This matter must be resolved, and it could be resolved. I want the workers' front to trust government, that government is doing this in the best interest of workers, in the best interest of pensioners, in the best interest of this nation. Nobody is prepared to do any side issue that will hurt the process. We are prepared to talk to them. We are prepared to sit down with them. We are open to all their options. Let it happen, and we will talk. There's no point in this strike. They know very well that there are processes to follow to go on strike. Why didn't they follow those processes? We want to plead with them that, look, we will resolve the matter. The matter will be resolved. But if the matter is resolved, the money is there accruing interest. Nothing will be lost out of it. But when one life is lost, can we recover that life? That is what we should all obey our minds to. If one life is lost, can we recover that life? If because of that, government loses taxes or people's business collapses, can we recover it? But they would have still received the pension money, and then things goes on well. I think that for some time, that is why there are laws and we should follow the laws. And I want to plead with the Labour front that we are open to discussions. Let's jaw instead of war. The fact is that we have not reached a deadlock. We can resolve this matter, and it must be resolved, and government is prepared to resolve it.
Okay, thank you, Honor.
Well, I spoke earlier with Chair of the Government Hospital Pharmacists Association of Ghana, Stephen Kokwe, and what he makes of the release of the 1.64 billion Ghana cedi figure by the National Pensions Regulatory Authority as amount accrued from workers' Tier 2 pension contributions. Thank you for joining me here.
Thank you for also to your viewers who are listening to us.
Would you call off your strike now that, well, your Tier 2 pension scheme is indeed available and has accrued some interest for you?
In the first place, what is it talking about? Is it talking about the issues that we have brought before government has all been addressed? The MPRA is just releasing an amount. Even we don't know what amount is it. We are not privy to the document. We have not even critiqued it to find out whether all those deductions that were made in 2010 and whether it has been invested very well. We are not privy to all those information. In the second place, I think I heard my other colleagues talking about the fact that, look, MPRA is the regulatory body. They have registered these 4 schemes according to the law. They are supposed to operate or be operational when the funds are released into the custodian's account. Why is government delaying that particular process? And government is saying that it only will allow the release into one trustee. This trustee, we don't know how this trustee was formed. We or the other labor unions who have formed our schemes are not privy to this trustee. Government want to run another snake? I don't think it is fair. This is a second tier and is supposed to be run privately. And we think that the earlier government releases the funds for us to make sure that come January 1st, most of our members who will be retiring will get the benefit of their second-tier pension.
So what would you prefer the NPRA does now that it's mentioned this 1.64 billion Ghana cedis as being was accrued in the TPA?
Yes, this 1.6 billion, as I said earlier, this 1.6 billion Ghana cedis, how it should be accounted for, and what there should be an itemized bill. Which things are accounted for this particular, which amount goes to. We have 4 schemes. All those details are not available. In any case, as we said, this 1.4 billion has been properly invested so that we can say that come 1st January 2015, our members who have their contribution have been accrued since 2010 have been given a proper investment so that they can enjoy the pension of the second tier. These are all questions that have not been answered. And if these monies are released, if they are released to us as earlier, we could have turned these monies, we could have been getting better than what the government has put up in the